First we shall see a few dhatus, that is the roots of words, then we will continue. Apulr vyaptau. Apulr. A, pa, la, r. Apulr. AAP, just an English translation. AAP, LRI, Apulr. Apulr, vyaptau. Vyapti means to cover, to extend.
Right, karo tujhe.
Yes, please. So that is apulr, vyaptau. Vyaptau means to extend, to cover, to be present everywhere. So if that is the concept what I have in mind, I have to derive a word using the dhatu apulr. One word is apnoti. Apnoti is one of the words and it is a verb. Apnoti. Apnoti means it gets, it covers, it possesses. So there's all the different meanings based on that vyaptau. Apnoti, that is the verb. Then we have got aptuhu, another word derived from the same root. Aptuhu.
अनुष्का ऋतुजा मला ऐकायला येऊ द्या ते.
Yes, please. Aptuhu. Aptu means that which extends. It's a noun. Aptu is that which covers. And one colloquial meaning of it is the body, the body, the body. Colloquial meaning. That means when I am speaking of colloquial meaning, the meaning of the word is narrowed down. It's not as wide as the root says. It's not as wide as the dhatu says. It is narrowed down in usage, and that is sharira. So this body is covering the mind, the intellect and the soul. Therefore, the body is called as aptuhu. That is which covers. Then we have got apnaha, another word, apnaha. Apnaha, when I am telling apna and 2 zeros, visarga, apnaha. Apna, visarga. If you are writing in Devanagari, that will be easy for you. Apnaha. That is the one through which we get. It's also a noun. That is one through which we expand, cover. And in colloquial sense, it is that which covers us with happiness. That's called apnaha. And once again, when you are speaking of colloquial, the meaning of the word is very much narrowed down. It's not as wide as the dhatu says it. Apnaha. In the same sense, we have got another word known as apva. Apva. A-P-V-A-A. Apva.
खायला आहे.
So we get so many such words derived from the same root. That is Apulra Vyaptau. Apaha is another word. Apaha. That which covers, that which spreads. And colloquially, Apa means water. We just pour a cup of water on floor. It spreads, it covers. It's not because of its flowing nature. So Apaha is also from Apalavya. That is the core meaning is always there in every word that is derived. That is very important. So the core meaning is lost sight of, then the meaning of the word is gone. And understanding that word or interpreting it in any other way is wrong. It has to be supported by its core meaning that is given in the dhatu part. That's a list of dhatus, and which dhatu is used in which sense. It is given as a list, and we have to adhere to it. That's very important. Based on, okay, I can explain. I can just have the primary meaning, secondary meaning, tertiary meaning, all fine. Hello. Naftali. Hello?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So what I was telling was, the meaning of a word should be substantiated or supported by the meaning of the dhatu. That has to be the core. If that is not there, means interpreting or the meaning of that word is wrong. Whoever does it, wherever it is done. So this is system what I got in the Vedic grammar or Vedic language. So this we have to understand very well and always apply it at every step. It's very crucial. Otherwise, there is no bound, there is no rule. Any word can be interpreted as anything else. That's the problem we have got there. And many commentators who have written commentaries on Veda mantras have gone astray at this point and they have taken us somewhere else, whereas the actual meaning is somewhere else. You should be very careful about that. Say one very ready example I have got now in the next dhatu. That is Sri Gatau. Sri Gatau. Sri Gatau. So whenever Gati I have told you, it is movement, it is knowledge, and it is acquiring, prapti. So in these three meanings I use the word Gati, and Sri is one such dhatu which conveys Gati. Now when this is clubbed with Apa, when it's clubbed with Apa, we get Apsara. That's the word what we derive. Apsara.
अजून
Apsara. If I am right, I have heard this word Apsara.
Yes.
But what is the meaning you have understood with that Apsara?
Who lives in heaven?
Yeah, celestial lady.
Yes.
That is, we imagine there is one heaven and Indra is the lord of that heaven.
Yes.
And around him you have these Apsaras, maybe Rambha, Uroshi, Menaka, etc. They all dance, this and that, all that. It's all, I repeat, Pauranic. It's all Pauranic. Nothing of that sort is there in Vedas. The actual meaning of it is Apsu. Apsu means Antariksha. Apsu means Antariksha. That is, Vedas identify 3 levels. One level we call it as Prithvi. Prithvi means at the ground. Prithvi is the ground level. And it speaks of Dyuloka. Dyuloka. Dyuloka means the world of light. The world of light. The world of shining. That is far above where we have got thousands of stars shining. Galaxies, Milky Way. That we call it as Dyuloka. And what is between these two, that we call it as Antariksha. Antariksha is that between the Milky Ways, galaxies and stars and the ground level. So between them, what we have got is known as Antariksha. This Antariksha is called as, is a wide expanse we have got. That is Apur Vyapta, what I have just said now. So that Antariksha is also referred to as wide expanse, Apur Vyapta. So that which moves in Antariksha is called as Apsara. Apsara is that which moves between the ground level and the galaxies, between the area whatever you have got, the space we have got, that is known as Antariksha. That which moves in Antariksha is called Apsara. Maybe these satellites what we see today, they are all Apsaras. You understand it?
Yeah.
Because they are not at the ground level or they are not at the galaxy level, in between.
Okay. But
So
what?
they are known as Apsara. Anything, not only satellites, one example I just said, that's the real meaning of the word Apsara. There is no question of heaven, Indra, or celestial ladies dancing this and that. It is all stories, fiction, facts. When I speak of satellite is equal to Apsara, it is fact. We know it.
Okay. Sharma ji.
Rockets, when they leave the earth and have not gone up to the level of Dyuloka, they are all in Antariksha. They move there.
Sharma
Not
ji.
only that, there are so many heavenly bodies between the two.
Okay.
They are above the ground level but not at the far off level of stars. Between we have got so many heavenly bodies and all those heavenly bodies are called as Apsara. There could be meteors, there could be so many other heavenly bodies. This is so practical and it is so realistic and factual. That's how the Vedas are. And how do I find out this? Based on the Dhatu. It says very clearly Srigatav. And from the same Dhatu Srigatav, I get the word Surya. Surya. In relation to earth, with reference to earth, Surya is static. But from other frames of reference, not only Surya, the whole solar system is on the moon. Srigata. You see, the Vedic rishis who visualized truth, darshana, that's what we call, who visualized truth, they were clear about all these things. But elsewhere in the world, earlier they understood the whole system as geostatic. They understood that Earth as the center and sun, moon, so many things, they all revolve around the Earth. But that's not true. Not only that, the whole solar system and sun also is on the moon. Relatively, it is static with reference to Earth. That's fine. But the whole solar system is heliocentric and not geocentric. Relatively, sun is static. Earth is the one which is moving around the sun. You are clear about all these things. I'll give one more word for that. Dhatu is gamalr gatau. Dhatu is gamalr gatau. Gati, once again, movement, knowledge, and getting, possessing. Gamalr gatau is one dhatu. And from that, one of the words that are derived are go, go. And the explanation what they give is gachati iti gauhu. Gachati iti gauhu. Gachati means that which is on the moon. It's called as gau. Go or gau. Gachati iti gauhu. Now the word gauhu is used for Earth, this globe. That means you are very clear that this Earth or the globe, a planet, is always on the moon. Gachati iti gauhu. Thousands of years ago, I am telling. It's only Copernicus or Galileo, they spoke about it only recently. But thousands of years ago, the rishis of Veda, they were very clear about these astronomical facts. Gachati iti gauhu. That which is on the moon is called the globe or the earth. Of course, cow is also called as gau because it also moves in search of food, in pastures. In pastures, it's on continuous move, eating grass. So it is also called as gau, that's fine. Not only that, our sense organs is also on the move. Say, eyes always move towards light and shape. Ears always move towards sound. The nose towards smell. The tongue towards taste. And the skin towards touch. That's how they move. So, the sense organs also are called as gau. The words what we utter is also called as gauhu because it moves and results in communication. I speak something. Unless it moves and reaches you, there is no communication. So the one that moves and finally establishes communication, those words are also called as gauhu. So when you have got so many meanings, which one is the right one? That depends upon the context. But please note, all the different meanings have got in their core gamalr gatau, that which is on the moon. Now this is scientific way of understanding Vedic words. I was telling about Apsara. Up means water, I told you just now, Aplar Vyaptam. That which spreads, that which flows, expands. Now, in water, whatever moves, that is also called as Apsara. Sri Gatau, up means water. So whatever that moves in water is also Apsara. Maybe a fish, maybe a whale. That which moves in water. Could be a crocodile, could be a tortoise, anything. That which moves in water is called Apsara. Very simple. The meanings, whatever I am telling, they are all very clearly faithful to the meaning of the dhatu. I am not going away. But when you understand it as a heaven and a celestial lady or a heavenly lady, it is not supported by the meaning of the dhatu. It is total concoction, it is total fiction. So this we should be able to identify and discriminate, and what is right, what is wrong, what is the right interpretation, right meaning, what is not. Of course, by going through these dhatus again and again and familiarizing with hundreds of dhatus will definitely provide us that capacity. So that is the capacity building what I am doing by getting into the dhatus. Otherwise, understanding the word in a different way will completely take us away from the right meaning. That's the risk that we are taking. But if we follow this Vedic method of dhatu and the words derived from it, we can avoid all such problems. That is a style we have to understand. That's a Vedic style. Now the word apsara can be derived sorry, can be derived from another dhatu, that is psa, ESA, ESA, psa, bhakshane. Psa, bhakshane. Bhakshana, that which consumes, that which eats. If that's a concept, the dhatu is psa. So the word what we get is psati. Psati, that's a verb. That's the act of eating, consuming. Psati.
At the end of the street, there's life.
Now the opposite of it, that is apsara. Psa is there, that which doesn't eat, that which doesn't consume. On the contrary, that which protects is also called as apsara. So there the dhatu is psa and it is negated with that a. Apsara is that which protects us, which doesn't consume us, which doesn't eat us away. But for this meaning, the word is derived from a different dhatu, that is psa bhakshane. It's not srigatav, it is psa bhakshane. So like this, gradually we have to familiarize ourselves with lot of dhatus and how the words are derived, and in course of time we will be comfortable with all those dhatus and the words. Given a dhatu, we should be able to, at this stage, guess what are the words that could be derived, or if you are given a word, we should be able to work back and find out what the dhatu could be. So that is very essential to understand the Vedic language. Okay, so much for dhatus. This another part of our discussion. Let me speak about the science that we have got in Vedas. So the very first word that we begin with, we call it as entity. Entity. And the word what we use for it in Vedic language is astitva. Astitva, entity. So the root for the word astitva is asabhuvi. Asabhuvi. That means that which exists. That which exists is called an astitva or an entity. Now another word that we use for this entity or astitva is sat. Sat. Sat means that which exists. Now the meaning of this word sat, that is that which exists, goes very well with the modern understanding of things also. That is, whatever is existing will always continue to exist. Whatever exists continues to exist eternally. The converse of it is whatever that doesn't exist will never come into existence eternally. Am I clear with the two things? One is straight, another one is converse. What exists, exists forever. What that doesn't exist never comes into existence forever. This is what in modern science also we say, conservation of matter and conservation of energy. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. Matter can neither be created nor be destroyed. And what's it? It exists, that's all. It exists forever. It cannot be destroyed. At the same time, new matter cannot be created. So there is no creation, there is no destruction, there is only existence. And this what is understood as Sat. This what is understood as Astitva. This is what is understood as entity. Now this is Anadi Ananta. Anadi means it has no beginning. Beginning means it is created. And Ananta, it has no end. If there is an end, it gets destructed. So it is Anadi Ananta. Sat or Astitva or entity is one which just exists and has no beginning and has no end. It exists and exists and exists. Yes. What is not in existence will not come into existence. What is in existence will not get destroyed, will not become extinct. It will be there. The thing could be, there could be some change in its form, that's all. Change in its state. But there is no question of creation, nor there is no question of destruction. That's what we call it as Anadi Ananta. So you should be very clear with this concept. Anadi Ananta. Anadi Ananta. That is existence, or that is an entity. Entity, we understand it as that which exists independently. For its existence, it doesn't depend on anything. By its own quality, by its own capacity, it exists. For its existence, another thing is not required. Anything else is not required. This we call as entity. So I have to understand the word entity very well, astitva very well, sat very well. Now that which exists is of two types. One, it just exists and doesn't have consciousness, awareness. It's not there, it just exists. And I got another one, there's a second existence, which exists and is aware of its existence. It has got that consciousness. Now the second part of awareness or consciousness, that we call it as chit. That's the terminology what we use. Chit. When I say sat, it just exists. When I say sat plus chit, it exists and is also aware of its existence. So I will give a very simple example. Say there is a piece of stone or maybe a chair in which you are sitting. Now the chair or the piece of stone exists very much, but it is not aware of its existence. The chair on which you are sitting, it doesn't know that I am in such and such a place and so is sitting on me. It's not aware of it. Of course it gives you support, of course it exists, but it's not aware of its existence. The same thing, a piece of stone. It is existing very much, but it's not aware that I am a piece of stone and I am with so and so, or I am here, I am doing this and that. No, it's not aware of it. It's not conscious, there is no chit in it, but it just exists. Existence is there. So I got two things. One is this sat, another one is sat plus chit. Now another word I can give for sat is inert. And if I have to link it to the modern science, the law of inertia stated by Newton, is strictly followed by the sat, the inert thing. And the technical term for it in the Vedas, it is jada. Jada is that which is inert. So Newton's first law of motion, that's what it says. A body in a state of rest or of continuous motion continues to be in the state of rest or of continuous motion unless acted upon by unequal forces. So if there is no external force which is acting upon it, that which is inert will stay where it is, or that which is inert and is on the move will be just moving and moving and moving. That's Newton's first law of motion. Law of inertia. Now for such a thing, the Vedic terminology is jada or sat. It just exists, but it's not aware of its existence. It just exists. And if anything has to be done by this, we need another external force, without which what is moving will not come to a stop, without which what is static will not start moving. That's inertia. Am I clear with that word?
Yes.
Sat and Satchit?
Yes.
Now, they are two entities, and when I say entity, for the existence of Sat, Satchit is not required. For the existence of Satchit, Sat is not required. Even without that it can exist. And Sat will never become Satchit and Satchit will never become Sat. There are two separate identities, two separate entities. And any circumstance, Sat will not become Satchit, Satchit will not become Sat. That's why we call them as entities. Otherwise, if Sat becomes Satchit or if Satchit becomes Sat, they are not two entities, they are one single entity with isotope forms, different forms. But they are two different clear entities and one will not become the other. It's all pakka science what I am telling. If you got any question, if you have any contradiction, yes, you can speak about it now. Ultimately, I am trying to drive home the exact meaning of the word entity, the exact meaning of Sat and Satchit, and the exact meaning of Astitva. Sat and Satchit. Sat plus Chit is Satchit. Sat is inert, no awareness. Satchit is existence with awareness. Say that could be you and me. That could be a dog, that could be a puppy, that could be any animal. They all exist and they are aware that they exist. We are aware of our existence. I know who I am, some name is given. I know these are my likes and dislikes. I know where I am, what I am doing. All that is there. So that awareness makes me different from that inner thing. It's a special faculty what I have got. Tell me. So am I clear with these two entities?
Yes.
And they are very much distinct. One is not an isotope of the another. One is not another form of one. Because the first one is only Sat. The second one is Satchit. So that which has got Chit, we call it as Chetana. Chetana. That which is Jada or only inert, it is called as Achetana. So I got two entities. One is Achetana. Still it exists. When it comes to question of existence, there is no problem. But if it comes to the question of Chetana or Chit or awareness, it makes all the difference. One is Achetana, inert. The other one is Chetana. Of course, it also exists. Chetana also exists, but it is also aware of its existence. So we shall stop at this today. I have introduced you to two entities. One is the Sat, another one is Satchit. One is Achetana, another one is Chetana. Chetana is that which is aware. That's all. That which is aware is different. That which is not aware is different. Now that which is Satchit continues to be Satchit only forever, and it is without beginning and without end. Whereas Sat, that which exists also, is without beginning and without end. It continues to exist only without awareness. Sat will not become Satchit, I repeat. Satchit will not become Sat. They are two distinct existences, entities. And for the existence of Sat, Satchit is not required. It's totally independent. And for the existence of Satchit, it doesn't require Sat. For the existence of Satchit, that existence you have to underline. Satchit exists independently on its own accord. Sat exists on its own accord. So that is why you understand the word entity, astitva. Sat and Satchit. So let me stop at this, and tomorrow I will recapitulate this once again shortly, and not tomorrow, day after tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow by this time I have to go for dialysis, so tomorrow I am not available. Day after tomorrow we will continue.
Okay.
Okay. Day after tomorrow means for me it will be Tuesday, for you Monday night.
Monday. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Namaskar.
If you have got any question, please note it down
Okay.
and ask, because these are all fundamental things, the basic things of Vedic science. If you understand these things correctly, future things will be having a very strong base. If there is any confusion at this stage, that continues in future things also. Let us avoid it. It's not difficult. You can go through it once or twice and things become very clear. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
धन्यवाद.
Dhanyawad.
Dhanyavad.